Hel- Hello everyone, present here virtually. I am Sakshi here and I will welcome to all the today's session will is titled as Digital Education and Teachers Competence Buildings. And presenting this session, we have with us our today's expert, Dr. Kalpana Dikshit ma'am. Dr. Kalpana Dikshit ma'am is a research supervisor, Barkatullah University, Bhopal, PhD in Educational Science from Barkatullah University, Bhopal. She experienced teaching, research, and training 20 years in a total area of specialization in expert, NCTE, and NEP. She has paper published 350 at a national level, 12 international level, and a book chapter 5. You may start now, ma'am.
Okay. My screen is visible to you, Sakshi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning, audience. I am Dr. Kalpana Dikshit, Research Supervisor, Barkatullah University, Bhopal. Am I audible, Sakshi? Sakshi, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Clearly audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today, for this webinar, my topic is digital education and teacher competence building. As you all know that we are living in the hybrid mode of education. Presently, after COVID and during COVID, we have transformed our education in the digital format of education. So it is very much necessary for all the teacher educators, those who are associated with digital learning, they must be competent in different competency of their digital education. They must know about the platform. They must know different tools and techniques. They must know the digital strategies, digital teaching method, and digital strategy to teach in the classroom. They must be aware about the utilization of all tools as well as the software part of the digital techniques. So here I would like to make you aware of general awareness about the digital education and teacher competence building because you are already involved in hybrid education and online education since 2 years. So many of you were already aware of many tools and techniques, but still what is actually digital education and how to build up this teaching competency in digital mode. This is my today's goal to communicate you. So here I am starting my first slide this is my first slide. This. What is 21st century skills? Actually, 21st century skills refer to the skills that are required to enable an individual to face-to-face challenges of individual to face the challenges of the 21st century world that is globally active, digitally transforming, collaboratively moving forward, creatively progressing, seeking competence, human resource, and quick in adopting changes. So this is a simple poster of 21st century skill, and this is my starting. Now, what does digital learning mean? Everyone knows digital learning means to use the digital tools and techniques for teaching in the classroom. But scientifically and in the language of technology, what we can say, we tend to think of digital learning in two separate yet complementary definitions. What are that? Number one, upskilling with digital tools and integrating them into your established learning process. Number two, making use of a broad range of technologies to develop a more fulsome digital skill set and using computational thinking to use these tools in deeper, more creative and technical ways to accelerate and enhance learning. This interpretation of digital learning is becoming more prevalent in new normal as we embrace the updated curriculum, which signals a shift to a more digital future in education. How digital education is transforming teaching methods. You all know about the smart class and being digitally updated. You are converting books to PDF also. You are encouraging online tests itself. You are conducting online webinars and supporting online research also. You are also creating the digital community on WhatsApp, Facebook, and LinkedIn or Twitter itself. So, which is digital education platform? There are many digital education platforms are exist. Digital education platforms are a collection of software and tools designed for schools. Digital education platforms are extremely useful for online teaching and learning, meaning they can be of great help during and beyond the pandemic. What are the digital competencies? Now come on the favorite topic of today. What is digital competence? Actually, digital competence is the set of skills, knowledge, and attitude that enables the confident, creative, and critical use of technology and systems. It is the skill set that enables a person to be a confident digital citizen, to interact and collaborate digitally, to produce work digitally, and to be confident in handling data and computational thinking like problem solving. What is the digital competence framework? Actually, you all know that if we go digitally in classroom or in our webinar or any online event, we must have certain skills and competence. So these competency skills must be in a frame line. This frame line is also known as digital competence framework. Key digital competence framework is a list of 21 competencies and skills that the European Commission determined necessary for European citizens to be sufficiently digitally competent. And the same is applicable to the Indian citizens also, because they have very much advanced in their digital skill and competence. So we have adopted their system and their framework in our education system also. The framework outlines basic skills, examples of how to utilize those skills and tasks one should be able to platform. The framework is broken down into 5 competence areas and each with a specific skill. What are these competence areas? The framework 5 competence area has certain skills. These 5 competence areas are: one is information, second communication, third content creation, fourth safety and protection, and number five is problem solving. So if we talk about the information, every teacher must know browsing, searching, and filtering the information. Every teacher must know evaluating the information, what is right and applicable as per their content. And they must be aware about storing and retrieving the information. Then second part, communication. Every teacher should interact through technology. They should share information, engage in online citizenship. They should do digital collaboration. They should know the online ethics and they should manage their digital identity. Now, the third one is content creation. How to create the content. Number one, development of content. They should know how to develop the content efficient for digital learning and for digital classrooms. Then integrating and re-elaborating. If they adopt some content, so they must re-elaborate it and they must integrate in their present curriculum and present mode of technology. Then copyright and licensing. If they are adopting something from other source, so they should mention the reference material also in with the name of the author and writer. So this is the digital ethics we can say, and programming. They should know the programming, how to program a particular learning in the classroom. Then safely and protection for your devices. You must not press on any link which you don't know. Then your data and digital identity must be kept secure. Then you should take care of your mental and physical health also. Do not involve very much in digital knowledge and exploring the things from the internet day or night. You must careful about your mental and physical health also. And the environment, you must create a positive environment so that you can make aware your students that you have to only log in on the prescribed given by the school management and the particular teacher itself. Then problem solving. These are the tactical issues. Many times we are held up in sharing a screen or other or presenting our content or designing or collecting the material. So we must have some technical skill, basic technical skill to solve these problems and expressing needs and identifying technological responses. And we should use digital tools and identify digital competency gaps. Then our next content is the TPEC framework from Mishra and Kohler was given in 2006. So what is the TPEC? TPEC framework is actually technological, pedagogical, content, knowledge framework. Under this framework, there are many things. Number one, TPCK. TPCK is self-defined technological, pedagogical, content knowledge. Then technological content knowledge, that is the TCK. Then this is TPK, technology pedagogical knowledge. This is TPK. Then pedagogical content knowledge. This is TCK. And under in the color sphere, you are finding CK, CK, and CK. CK is the technological content for which you must be aware, and CK is the content knowledge, which content is applicable and useful for digital education and which is not useful for digital education. And PK, pedagogical knowledge. You must know what strategies and what teaching methods can be applicable through the technology in our day-to-day classroom. I think you can understand this PPEC framework. Then other framework is synthesized model of teachers' digital competencies. This is T8 model. T8 model is knowledge and skills in digital technology, technological, pedagogical knowledge and skills, then awareness and understanding of cyber ethics, then positive attitude and openness to new technology. And all these content are covered under four major dimensions of digital competencies. These are technical knowledge, pedagogical knowledge, ethical knowledge, and attitudinal knowledge. So if you would like to be digitally competent, so you must be follow either this PPEC model or this TH model in your day-to-day classroom teaching. Then the new digital competence assessment framework. If you think you are already competent enough or you are partially competent, so you have to assess your technological competence and your digital competence by these methods. Here, we can assess the cognitive part of the teacher, we can assess the affective part of the teacher, and we can assess the social relationship of the teacher. And all these things are dependent on technological, verbal, and logical, mathematical things. What are the 21st century skills? You have all learned very much and heard this word many times in all the webinars and conferences also. Actually, 21st century skills are basically divided into three main parts that are foundational literacy, competency, and character qualities. What are the foundational literacy? Foundational literacy are the literacy, numeracy, financial literacy, scientific literacy, ICT literacy, cultural and civic literacy. Then, if we talk about the competencies, these competencies are critical thinking. I think you must be aware of this word. Critical thinking, problem solving ability, creativity, exchange information, and collaboration. These are very deep and broadly explained words. So either you can go and read or search on the internet about the meaning and definition of these words, or in next class I will definitely explain you all these words. Yeah? So then character qualities. Character qualities are, it should be curiosity toward learning, initiative, then persistence, continuity, adaptability to adapt him or herself in the virtual environment, then leadership qualities, lead a virtual or digital classroom, and social and cultural awareness. So all these 21st century skills are divided into three basic components that I have already explained you. Then there are some general teaching competency also because you are a teacher and you have to work on digital mode as well as offline mode also. In new normal, we are utilizing the hybrid teaching, both the virtual education and offline face-to-face classroom. So you must have aware about the general teaching competencies you should keep. What are these general teaching competencies? It could be better to define the teaching competency as a general and specific. So here I would like to explain you the general competence of teaching. These are basis of scientific method of teaching. How to teach in the classroom, how to prepare the content, how to prepare your notes, how to deliver in the class, how to plan a lesson for delivering in the classroom. Then personal and professional value and professional development. If you have a skill of one type, you have to develop your skill. You have to develop yourself professional. You have to learn new knowledge. You have to acquire new degree or course which is relevant to the present education system. Okay. Then knowing the students, learning and teaching process. You must know the students. What are their psychology? What are their learning style? How they learn? How to interact with them in the classroom? And what type of teaching strategy is suitable for them? And what type of teaching and learning process are best suitable for a particular age, class, or grade itself. Then knowledge of curriculum and content. If you are a teacher of a particular curriculum, like grade 9, 10, 11, 12, undergraduation, or post-graduation, you must know your content. If you are very much perfect in your content and curriculum, that you can adopt different methods of virtual and offline methods to communicate your content in the classroom. So you must have this general teaching competency itself. And what is Web 2.0? This is a very common word nowadays, and many people are using many of the media and tools from Web 2.0, but they are not aware that is it the Web 2.0. So social media web applications such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, RSS feeds, blogs, wikis, websites, podcasts, master apps, photo, video sharing, and virtual worlds. So these are the Web 2.0 platform. What is the framework for 21st century success? How will you get success? If you acquire the knowledge, if you acquire the competence, and if you already assess your competency in digital classroom. So you have to adopt this framework so that you can be successful in your career and your professional life also. What are they? Curriculum focus on providing opportunity to develop core skills. You have to develop, elaborate, and inbuilt your curriculum with this four skills. Then explicit structure of non-cognitive factors such as academic mindset, academic behavior, perseverance, social skills, and learning strategies. And the third one is leadership. You have the proper leadership quality and willing to support non-traditional teaching and learning. And what are these four C's? These are collaboration, communication, creativity, and critical thinking. I am highlighting this because we cannot highlight the affective domain that we can find out. We cannot highlight affective domain of the students like emotional intelligence, academic mindset, academic behavior like this. And we cannot measure the leadership directly in the classroom, leadership of the teacher or leadership of the student. So I am highlighting the 40 because this is very much applicable in 21st century virtual education. Then what should be the 21st century instruction planning? How to plan your instruction in the classroom out of the classroom or before delivering the lecture in the classroom. So this is the integration, learner, thoughtful, and attitude. You have to integrate different content in one concept. You have to understand the learner mindset. You should be thoughtful in designing your teaching method. You must have attitude of teaching learning, and you must have the positive attitude to deliver content into classroom with a positive mindset. Then learn subject area content. These are 3 R's and 4 C's. 3 R's you all know: reading, writing, arithmetic. 4 C's that creative thinking, critical thinking, collaboration, and cooperation. So you must be learn all these things according to your subject area. Okay, how to develop the creativity in particular subject or topic, how to develop collaborative learning, how to plan your teaching method with community support or collaboration of the community and parents. So this thing you must know in deeply. Then infusion a process of creativity, critical reading. You have to infuse all these skills in your daily classroom activities. During your teaching learning process, you should ask some creative questions. You should give some creative projects. You should divide the classroom into different groups so that they can think for a particular problem critically and respond according to their mindset and their critical skills. So these are the skills you must know in the classroom. Then thinking, writing, and communication: how to think, how to write properly, and how to communicate the thing. There are many content available on the internet, but this is you teacher, you must plan, you must design, you should decide a framework for your communication so that you can be a competent and perfect teacher in your classroom. Then maths and collaboration: how to do the activity in mathematics class, English classroom, language classroom, science classroom, it's same period also. And effective use of career and life skills. Meanwhile, teaching and learning, if you are teaching a particular subject, you should already highlight and also highlight the value of career and life skill in their life so that they will feel the content interesting and useful for them. Then technology and personal habits. You should adopt technology in your day-to-day teaching learning process and your personal life also so that you can be competent in delivering your content. And you should develop your personal habit also so that you can be a competent teacher in the classroom. Work information, media, and ICT ethics. You have proper information about your schedule, your time, your period, your classroom, your content, your task schedule, so that you can plan accordingly your media and ICT tools. Then accountability. You should accept the accountability of teaching and learning on your head. You should not blame your management, your head, your principal, or your administration for your fault, or you can take the advantages of your leadership for taking this accountability and literacy itself. Then teaching approaches. There are many teaching approaches to communicate digital as well as face-to-face content in the classroom. These are project methods, cooperative learning, virtual platforms, and a competency-based learning, thinking-based learning, design thinking, and problem solving, etc. So this is upon you. See what is your content. Content is built for which skill and which teaching strategy. You have to adopt that approach in your classroom. And design thinking is the basic and advanced concept of the today's classroom. If you are perfect in the design thinking, then you can design your content accordingly by application of certain tools and technology. What are the tastes of 21st century teachers? Relevance. Here, relevance means you should apply proper tools, proper content, proper methodology in your virtual classroom. Social. You should be connected with your administration, with your marriage, with your parents, and with your students through different social media and social approaches like email, WhatsApp, Twitter, whatever you like to do, or a normal common website of the school. Then forward thinking. You must have forward thinking. You must advance your thinking so that you can also include many technology in one classroom, as well as you have to adopt some new technology for your traditional content also. Then lifelong learning. If you would like to be confident in your teaching learning process in digital media or offline classes, you must be learned continuously, keep learning on, keep going on, must learn new concepts, new technology, and new methods of teaching and learning itself. Then student centers. You must plan your content, design, technology, and curriculum according to the need and nature of the student. You cannot communicate a general content to the specialized classroom, and you cannot teach the mathematics in a musical class. So you have to focus on the student teachers, a student-centered teaching learning process. Then actively engage. Being a digital teacher, you must be engaged actively in different seminars, conferences, webinars, or a collective group or digital group also, so that you can get the knowledge and share your knowledge and experience also. And collaborating, you must be adopt collaboration with parents, teachers, your management, with your colleagues, your fellows, your students also. You must be collaborative in designing and defining the content in the classroom. Methodology. What are the specific methodologies are more useful in 25th, 21st century teacher should know? These are project-based learning. Many of you must be aware about the project-based learning. This is a group activity or activity-based learning where you have to give some project to the student and they will solve like a research project or some mathematical project or some project on history subject based. So this is the project-based learning. Then cooperative learning. Cooperative learning is a method of group teaching learning process where you can divide the classroom in many small groups and you can assign different activities to each and every group. Then gamification. Gamification is the most advanced teaching learning tool that can be applied in the most advanced scientific concept in the classroom. Then problem-based learning. You during your teaching learning process, you can give some problem-based questions to the students which are not already exist in your content. So let them search either from the internet or they should discuss with their peer group and they will solve the issue or question, whatever you have given to them. Then design thinking, you have to plan your teaching learning process according to new and advanced thinking methodology where synthesis analysis can be done. What is useful for particular grade or class and what is not useful, you have to delete and you have to add some modern concept in your traditional classroom on the basis of digital thinking. Then thinking based learning. Thinking based learning, you have to motivate your student to think on a particular project or problem or questions or innovative process or innovative idea. So this can generate innovation and creativity in the classroom. Then competency based learning. Competency based learning means you must make your students aware about the competency of the future of world. What skill is required for the whether it is mathematical competency or language fluency or some vocational competency also there. So competence based learning must be included in your daily day to day virtual classroom also. It is also 21st century skill we have already learned in that slide. So this is the 21st century pedagogy. You have learned the method, you have learned the strategy, you have learned the framework, you have learned what are the digital skills and what are the division of digital skills in 21st century. So now how to plan your pedagogy based on all these components. So this is the 21st century pedagogy where technological information and media fluency is necessary. Then contextuality is very much important. Interdisciplinary curriculum must be there. Collaboratively designed curriculum and content must be there. Project-based learning Students encourage the students to take the leadership initiative and to cooperate in the classroom with empathy and sympathy. Then problem solving ability, and then transparency. And all these pedagogy are built based on building technological information, teaching contextuality, and are interdisciplinary and work collaboratively and use project-based methods and foster problem solving and assess transparently and to develop thinking skills. So once you know the what are the pedagogical approach, then must you should know the adverb, what they do, whether they are built, they teach, or they develop, or they work or do. So this is the pedagogical framework of the digital competencies. Then learning strategies. What are the basic learning strategies? First, you should know Babbage, how to retrieve information and plan according to your content from the from different websites, whether they are uh, websites made by the educational faculties or by some professional have built these websites, different platforms, different teaching learning programs. You must be aware which is applicable and useful for your content. So web access must be there. Then building a new paradigm, you have to shift your teaching learning process by flipped classroom method. Sometimes you should be online, sometimes you should be offline, sometimes you should give some research project, sometimes you should give some project for collective learning and skill set for the 21st. See, all the skill, creativity, critical, collaborative, and cooperative must be there in your daily classroom and in your content also. Then return home. When you come back to your home, you must be full of information management. You must have creative and publishing format in the form of your presentation or in the form of your notes. And you must have thinking pedagogy and you should be have a very advanced learning environment. So the 21st century teacher must know all type of learning strategies to be applicable in their classroom. Life skills. What type of life skill are there? These skills take a look at intangible elements of a student's everyday life. These intangible focus on both personal and professional qualities. The flip skill, this is the short form abbreviation of flexibility and adaptability. This is denoted by F, leadership and responsibility, denoted by L, then initiative and self-direction, denoted by I, and social and cross-cultural instruction, denoted by S. So this is the flip type of life skill you can impart in your classroom so that students will take proper knowledge, must be aware of their content, and also develop for the future of work. There are two types of learner in your classroom. One is traditional learner and second is 21st century learner. You have to identify them because I have already told you, you have to plan all your teaching learning methods and all your technology according to the student center on the basis of learning style of the student, basic of the learning competence of the student, and basic of their trait and characteristics. So the traditional life of learner are sit and get information, learner as receive for information, expectation same for all, and product oriented, teacher type, paper pencil driven, explicit direction, isolated learning, private, compliant, answers and primary use. Source system stayed the same in those days. But in traditional type of learner, there was one-way learning. Teacher always speak and give the assignment, give the task. Students were not active in the classroom in the traditional type of learning. But if we talk about the 21st century learner, they are active. They are advanced in their knowledge. They know the technology before you. They are very much aware of the content, whatever you are teaching in the classroom today. So what you do, you have to make your content very much interesting, very much designful, very much colorful, and some new knowledge information must be there so that they will get interest. And because they are 21st century learners, they are move, experience, experiment, they learn as initiators, they students navigate choices and places product oriented. Student constructs meaning, technology enhanced learning, and multimedia driven. No limits of learning and content. Lots of content are there. Shared globally and collaboratively. Problem solver. Questions are primarily open system. Both type of two-way teaching learning process. Students sometimes teach the teacher, teacher sometimes teach the teacher. They mutually discuss the content in the classroom. They mutually suggest the solution. So this is the open system of teaching and learning. Candidates constantly, लगातार change होता है, continuously teach. And what they do, inquirers. They inquire by themselves. If you tell them tomorrow we are going the metamorphosis process of the cell, they will definitely go and search the internet and to find out what is the metamorphosis process. So this is the way they are inquirers also. 21st century teaching competency for school teachers. What type of teaching competency must be there? National Council of Teacher Education (NCTE) has suggested following teaching competencies as the 21st century teaching competency for school teachers. Number one, contextual competency. Concern not only education but also socio-economical, political, and cultural aspects too. It includes teachers' ability to take the subject matter to the different relevant contexts, including local, regional, and global. To be competent school teacher, one should have conceptual clarity over the concepts, theories, laws, and principles of the concerned subject. Without your clarity, you cannot design your teaching method, teaching learning tools, technology, and strategy. So you must be aware about all the theories, laws, and principles of the concerned subject which you are teaching in the classroom. Then content competency. Include the nature of content. What type of content is there? Teachers should be aware to the wholesome of the nature and quantum and psychological linkage of the content, whether it is applicable or not, whether it is applicable in this section or not, whether it is applicable for this grade or not. So you have to decide. You must have the content competency. Then competency related to classroom communication. You must be very much clear about your communication. Many times there are some doubts and misunderstanding. Whatever assignment you are giving, whatever notes you are giving, what you have communicated to communicate the parents also. So you must be very clear about your communication, whether you are writing note on your diary or you are giving some virtual instruction or you are delivering some WhatsApp message. So there must be clear communication. Then competency related to mentoring and motivation. You have such competency. Many times, what happens in your classroom? Some students come and ask to you, Madam, I want to be a doctor. What can I do? What subject I will do? What competition is suitable for that? Many times, some students come to you and say, Ma'am, my family environment is so rough. I don't want to stay there. I want to commit suicide. So you have this capacity to mentor and motivate your students for learning and for their personal life also. So you must learn some mentoring and motivation quality also. Then competency related to psychological and guidance. You know what is the in that if you're doing B.Ed or any other teaching related skill or course or diploma and certifications, you must know the guidance and counseling is very much important for a teacher because every day you have to guide your students, you have to counsel your students for their personally, their socially, and their career need also. So this competency is also necessary in you. Then competency related to use of ICT. ICT competency, as we have already discussed, you must know the tools, the technology, the content, the web-based platform, and other platforms, or which you are apply in your classroom. Then how teachers should develop 21st century teaching competency. Now, if you have know everything, then how to develop these competencies? You know what are the tools available, you know what are the technology, what are the platforms are available, you know how to design the content, how to define the concept. Then how to develop these competencies you in yourself for your professional growth and your career success. These are teaching competency can be developed through following ways. Number one, regular reading of professional journals and periodicals. You should read different research paper of your subject area. You should read different journals, different periodical, newspaper articles, and magazines relating to your field and other fields also. So you should know about your content as well as the need of the student. Then attending the workshop and in-service teacher training program. You must attend all the workshop related to your professional development and in-service teacher training program or pre-service teacher training program. Then the regular reading of latest book of the subject area. If you are a teacher of history or if you are a teacher of biological science, you must know what are the content already deleted from your syllabus, what are the content, what are the new content added in your syllabus, what are the new policies for your subject area or for your course stream. So you must know about this. Then regular use of ICT in teaching. If you can, whether it is face-to-face classroom or virtual classroom, you must be competent and confident in using ICT in your daily classroom so that if there are some crisis, if there are again some pandemic situation, if you are unable to take the regular classes, then you can apply your ICT knowledge on virtual media itself also, like recorded media, recorded lecture, etc. Then regular use of different types of teaching aids. Yes, this must be very much important for you. How many types of teaching aids are there? Some teaching aids, poster, paper, pencil teaching aids, some teaching objects are there, some scientific models are there, some charts are there, and some written material are there. So you must be aware about different type of teaching learning aids in your classroom. Then regular sharing of experience and ideas with fellow teachers. You must be know what are the new ideas, what are the new technology, what are the new concepts, and when you share with your colleagues and your fellows. So when you give A type of knowledge, they must definitely share a B type of knowledge with you. So this way you can develop your professional competency also. And regular visit to other schools and colleges and observe them, how they are imparting the knowledge, how they are conducting their classroom, what type of activities, whether they are co-curricular activities, cultural activities, sports related or academic activities. If they are organizing any science fair, how they are conducting. If they are organizing some quiz, how they are conducting. So you have to visit other schools and colleges and observe them also. Then regular self evaluation of teaching effectiveness. आपको अपना you should evaluate yourself. आप अपने आप को evaluate कीजिए कि आप कितने effective है या what are the deficiency, what are the weakness of your teaching learning process, so that you can remove that weakness and you can make yourself competent. Then habit to maintain to organize academic program. You should not be hazard. You should not in hurry. You should a very well organized teacher. You should plan your lesson in advance. You should decide a teaching aid, a teaching tool, a teaching technology for that. So you must be organized in your classroom. Before going to the classroom, you must prepare for yourself. This is the way for professional growth and success. Then habit to carry out administrative work, reflective practice before and after the classroom teaching. What are the administrative work like taking attendance or giving a sign or giving notebook to the students or checking the copy, whatever activities are there, you must Have a positive habit to take them regularly so that your work will not pending and you can update yourself in your administrative work also. And if there any time or situation when you have to hold a responsibility or you become an in charge teacher or principal or head, then you can take this thing efficiently in the classroom. What is the digital competence framework? Ultimately, this is the final framework, a list of 21 competency skills that the European Commission determined necessary for European citizens. This we have already discussed. Then five competency areas we have already discussed. Then six steps to become digital competent. How to become digital competent. Previously, in the previous slide, I have discussed the professional competence. Now the digital competence. Number one, learn how to assess, evaluate and store information. कैसे आपको इंफॉर्मेशन हाउ टू एक्सेस कैसे लेना है कैसे इवेल्युएट करना है कैसे उसको कम्युनिकेट करना है so this is the one of the most basic skill when one begins using digital technology, especially the internet above all contains information usually available for access by anyone in the world with an internet connection. However, learning to search for information isn't enough. You also need to know how to evaluate what you see to determine its legitimacy, whether it is legal or illegal, it is applicable or not applicable, useful or not useful, licensed or unlicensed. So when you access the internet, you must be aware about all these things. Number two, improve your communication by learning how to interact with others. Being familiar with your digital device, including how they can access the internet, is a good start to becoming digitally competent. However, knowing how to properly communicate with others over the internet and other digital networks unlocks even more of the potential of these devices. After all, the internet provides us with the ability to share aspects of core life our life with our friends, family, and colleagues on a global scale. And practicing digital communication skills is also very much important. Number three, create and share your own content. Digital technology allows us to showcase our talents and express ourselves across a variety of mediums. These suggestions have been given by the NCT, National Council for Teacher Education. So, by learning how to create, format, and share digital content, you can increase your impact on the world exponentially, regardless of whether it is done for work, play, or some other reason. Digital content creation has become a fundamental building block of the internet. Number five, become proficient in technical problem solving. Though this is a more advanced skill to have, as I have earlier told you, some basic technological skill you must know. But if you want to update yourself, if you want to advance yourself, you must proficient in technical problem solving also. So at the time of issues or problem or network issues, you can solve by your own because without any technical support. So some basic issues such as frozen computer screen, a loss of saved file, or malware installed on your computer can have simple solutions. In the very least, there is usually an easy way to learn how to solve these type of predicaments. The solving computer complication on your own first before asking others. By applying simple problem solving skills to your tactical issues, you should be surprised at what you can figure out by yourself when you try yourself. So learn and keep learning. Number six, make digital learning a lifelong endeavor. Whether it is offline face-to-face classroom or online virtual learning platform, you have to make yourself digitally efficient. How? Even after developing all of these skills, or at least improving some of your existing skills, you need to continuously work on your digital literacy skills and on staying up to date. with current digital trends in an ever-changing industry. Your skills will need to be cultivated on an ongoing basis. Never stop learning. And this. Thank you very much. I would like to end my presentation of today. The fourth industrial revolution is creating a demand for new competencies and the need for upskilling, upskilling, unlearning, relearning, and retraining has never been more serious than now. So you must be aware about all the skills and you must be competent by your own. You should learn the technology, you should learn the technical issues, you should learn the methods and all that. Here I am stopping my presentation to share. And if you have any query or question, you can ask me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This very informative and a demonstrative session. We will ask our participant to put your question in a comment box. We will try to provide this answer by Dr. Kalpana Dikshit, ma'am, below the comments.
Definitely, definitely, you should. And have some still photographs also, Sakshi. Have some still photograph also. Okay? Of your screen.
In session, ma'am.
Still photograph. I'm talking about the still photograph. The screen is visible on your end also, no? So you should take some photographs.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, Sakshi, is there any question? Or you can ask through WhatsApp or is there online?
I think no question, ma'am.
Okay, presently there is no question because
Thank you so much, all
this,
the participants, for
okay.
your active participation. Let me inform to all that this complete session will available on our Business Rozgar YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it again or want to share it somebody, please do visit our Business Rozgar YouTube channel. Thanks. And last but not the least, thank you, Dr. Kalpana Dikshit ma'am, for taking our time for the session. With our permission, I would like to end today's session here. Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Sakshi. Thank you very much. And thanks for your cooperation and thank you very much to your organization also. And I would again and again like to associate with you. We all are learners. We are in the phase of learning. Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.